for the first question, okay, I identified the total ratio, which is 10. Okay, so with that being said, we can now use 240 times 7/10 to find the amount Ahmed received, which is 168. For question 2, pretty straightforward. I extracted 3x, okay, from both of the variables. So the remaining in the bracket will be 3x minus 2. Question 3, okay, so for the x angle, okay, we have 2 as our adjacent and 5 as our hypotenuse. So cosine x equals to 2/5. Okay, so running the cosine inverse formula, then we will get the angle as 66.42. Whereby for question 4, okay, keyword corrected to the nearest millimeter. So 1 cm equals to 10 millimeter, hence 1 millimeter equals to 0.1 cm. So the rounding value will actually be 0.1 divided by 2, which is 0.05. And for us to find the perimeter, okay, for the lower bound, okay, we are required to take 6.15 multiplied by 3, which results in 18.45, and for our upper bound, just take 6.25 multiplied by 3, which is 18.75. Question 5, factorize. Okay, so I actually write down the possible value over there. Okay, so I uses the cost multiple method. So if I were to use 2x minus 3x minus 1, okay, the first one that I got there, it is actually not suitable because when I take negative 3 multiplied by negative 1, it will result in positive 3. Which is different compared to the one in the question. Okay, so I adjusted it and I put 2x plus 1 and x minus 3. Okay, by doing so, we have the factorized results as 2x plus 1 bracket x minus 3. Question 6, okay, so I actually memorized this and the matrix will goes by 0, 1, negative 1, 0. Question 7, so James buy a drinks for €2, okay, simply convert it, okay, by dividing it by 1.252 and you will get the results of 1.597, etc. and correct it to the 2 decimal place. So I round it up and I get 1.6 as the results. Whereby for question 8, okay, pretty straightforward. I changed the proper fraction into improper ones first. Then I run the calculation and get the final results of 27/8, which is equivalent to the value of 3/8. Question 9, pretty straightforward as well. Simply multiply 3 into x plus 4 and 2 into 4x minus 1. Rearrange them and get the final results as 2.8. So question 10, find the percentage of reduction. Okay, so it simply takes 85 minus 67.5 over 85 multiplied by 100. So this one, the final results will actually be 20.59%. Whereby for question 11, okay, this one is actually sine rule as mentioned by the question. Okay, so I took sine 100 over 24 equals to sine 30 over BC. So by running a calculation, we will get the results as 12.19. Question 12, for us to find u, okay, we need to utilize the information given. The distance traveled for the first 3u seconds is 125 meters. So the area of this particular shape will be equivalent to 125. So 2u plus 3u divided by 2 multiplied by 10 equals to 125. So by running a calculation, you get the results as 5. Find the acceleration in the first 4u second. So 10 divided by 5 equals to 2. Question 13, pretty straightforward. First, I took 12 divided by 3, okay, because they are integers. Okay, whereby for the power side, which is x to the power of 12, I took it to minus power of 3. So your final results will actually be 4x to the power of 9. Whereby for part B, I converted 256 into 2 to the power of 8, okay, before I multiplied the power with 1 over 8. So after the multiplication, we get the results as 2y to the power of 32. Part 14, pretty straightforward. A's value here will be 2, B is 1, and C is negative 2. Okay, then I substitute it into the formula, negative b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a, and the final results will actually be 0.78 or negative 1.28. Question 15. The circumference of a circle is 30 cm. Calculate the radius of the circle. So do not mess this up with the graph given below. Okay, part A is a separate question. So the keyword here is the circle. Hence, 2 pi r equals to 30 and r's value equivalent to 4.77. Whereby for part B, okay, the length of arc here, okay, the formula 2 pi r you are required to multiply by 1 over 2 because it is a semicircle. So pi r equals to 15, r equals to 15 over pi. So with that being said, we can now substitute this information into our area formula, which is pi r squared. However, for our area, same things apply. Because it is a semicircle, we are required to divide it by 2. So the final results will be 35.81. Question 16 part A. Okay, so the key information that wasn't given is that F intersect with S. Okay, so I set the intersection as X here. So 25 minus X will be students that study French only, and for those who study Spanish will be 18 minus X. Okay, and the one that doesn't study both will be at outside of the circle. Hence, adding everything up, you will get to 30. So by running the calculation, X value will actually be 14. Whereby for part 2, one of the 30 students is chosen at random, and this student studies French but not Spanish. So this one we will be using 25 minus X, so the results will actually be 11. Hence the probability will be 11 over 30. So part 3, a student who does not study Spanish is chosen at random. So students that doesn't study Spanish will be those who studies French only, together with students that doesn't study both. So the total will actually be 12 here. And so the students who studies French will be 25 minus 14. Hence it will be 11. So 11 over 12 will be the final results. For part B, R intersect with everything other than P union Q. Okay, so this will be the R only part which I shaded. Whereby for 17, part A, median stands for 50%. Hence, okay, just take 200 times 50% equals to 100. So from 100, I drew it down and I get 6 seconds. Whereby for the interquartile range, okay, so I actually made a mistake here if you look closely. Okay, I drew the lower quartile wrongly. Okay, as I took 4 as the final value. So this is the mistake I made. Okay, so the actual results of 150 will be 7, and for 50 it will be 5. Hence the interquartile range will actually be 7 minus 5 equals to 2. Last part, students will have a reaction time more than 4 seconds. So from 4 seconds, I drew it up and I get 20. Hence, 200 minus 20 will be the final results, which is 180. Question 18. Okay, so this one is relatively tricky. So the first thing that I did over here is to calculate AC's value. Okay, so by using Pythagoras theorem, okay, I get AC's value as 20 square root 2. And for AM and MC's value, it will actually be half of AC, which is 10 square root 2. So with that 10 square root 2 results, we can now use it, okay, as the base of the triangle APM. Okay, then we can use it to calculate the hypotenuse here, which is AP. So the hypotenuse after the Pythagoras theorem, it will be 2 square root 66. And for us to find the tilted triangle, okay, which is the faces of the pyramid here, it will be triangle APB, and a base will be 10 and 10 respectively. So with that being said, we can use it to calculate the height, okay, which is 2 square root 41. Okay, now with the 2 square root 41, okay, we can multiply it by 20 times half. And for a pyramid, there's 4 faces, so you are required to multiply it by 4. Add it up with the base of the pyramid, which is 20 times 20. So the final results will be 912.25 cm squared. For question 19a, BA's value will actually be BO plus OA. Okay, so before we start with the calculation, let's fill out the graph. Okay, so we have the information M is a midpoint of PB. So BP will actually equivalent to OA, okay, because it's a parallelogram. Hence, PM's value will be half A and MP's value will be half A as well. Whereby for part 2, find the position vector of M. So OB plus BM. So the results will be B plus half A. Lastly, let's substitute the information that we gotten in B, which is BX to XA is 1 to 2. Hence, BX will actually be 1 over 3 BA and XA will be 2 over 3 BA. So with that being said, okay, we can now use OX equals to OB plus BX, okay, and the results will be B plus 1 over 3 A minus B. So the final value will be 2 over 3B plus 1 over 3A. Okay, so OM equals to unknown OX. So let's run the calculation and comparison. Okay, and our unknown here will be 3 over 2. Lastly, question 20. So we will be using the area formula, half AB sine C. So substitute it into the value, will be half PB times PQ times sine RPQ equals to 38.5. So by running a calculation, we'll get the results as 58.82. Okay. With that being said, we can now use the angle that we have gotten to find length of QR using cosine rule. So after the calculation, we get the results as 9.37. So thank you for watching. I hope you find this video helpful. So if you happen to have friends that's struggling to solving all this past year paper, feel free to share our channel to them. So I wish you all the best in your upcoming examination. Thank you.